Hi, fifth graders. Last week we started to look at stars, and we said we're going to look at patterns of the Earth and sky. Excuse me. I don't know what's going on with me today. So I'm going to make myself smaller so that we can focus on this screen here. You should still be able to see me up in the corner. Maybe. All right. So the question we started to ask last week was, why do we see different stars at different times? We're going to try and answer that. So the first question, what does an archaeologist do? So these are actually pictures of an archaeologist. And if you remember from last year, our Skippy-John Jones story, we talked about Skippy-John Jones and the Big Bones. We started to talk about what an archaeologist does. Well, archaeologists are scientists who study people from long ago and their activities. They use their tools. They do this with their tools like pottery, statues, paintings, and other things that they made or built. Sometimes they find things buried or hidden, and when we find those things, we call them artifacts. So, artifacts, an archaeologist uncovered this artifact. So, what do you observe or notice? That's the first question. So, I'm going to share with you some of my observations, and I want you to be thinking about what you observe and see. Well, I see some dots like last week. I seem to remember some of that in some of the pictures we saw. Let's see if I can move backwards to some of the pictures from last week. See some of the dots. That kind of looks like our artifact. Let's see some of the other ones. Like that one, yeah, with all those dots. So let's go back to our artifact. I see some dots. Oops. I see some other interesting things. I'm not sure what all of it is. Wheat or grass, maybe? Little suns in the middle. Houses, I'm not sure. It's pretty interesting. So this is actually not a real artifact. It's fictional, which means it's made up, but it's very similar to real artifacts that have been found. And what archaeologists do is they study the clues. They study what they think about what they know about other artifacts that they found in a similar area to try and determine maybe what's missing. So archaeologists, they actually use these types of artifacts to find clues for what ancient astronomers were thinking when they observed the sky. Remember that word astronomers from last week? Let's go back to it. There it is. An astronomer is a scientist who studies stars, planets, and other objects in the universe. So an astronomer is someone who's looking at the sky and looking at the things in the sky, and that's what they're studying. So archaeologists would use this kind of artifact to try and figure out what astronomers from a long time ago were thinking. So let's look at Dr. Sabri. She's a fictional person that we've created for our story. So it says, 2 student astronomers, that's you. From Dr. Sabri, Museum of Archaeology, subject, mysterious artifact. That's this. Our museum's field research team located an artifact, and we think it might be more than 1,000 years old. We believe it shows something about the sun and the stars, although one section is missing. Would you be able to help us figure out what the missing section looked like? We want to put the artifact on display at the museum, and it would be nice to show people how it might have looked before it was broken. Oh, they're going to try and they want us to figure out what's missing in this section over here. Oh, that's pretty exciting. A map is attached to show you where the artifact was found in case that is helpful. Let's look at the map. Oh, so it was found way over here. It looks like China. Can't even see where we are, but we're way over here. in Los Angeles. So this artifact is found, we would call this is called Asia. So it's found in Central Asia, about halfway around the world. It's really far away. So this is the part where you get to use the science books you got from school. So it looks like this. What I'm showing you right now has purple and it has like the sun. It says Patterns of Earth and Sky, Analyzing Stars on Ancient Artifacts. So I want you to pause this video and go find that book and then come back. Welcome back. So this is our investigation notebook and it's very similar to what scientists use. Pretty exciting. So take a minute. You can pause the video again and I want you to just look through the book and get excited with me about what's inside the book. So go ahead and pause and look. Welcome back. Pretty exciting. I hope you're as excited as I am. So I actually want you to turn to page 3 of your book. And if you notice on page 3, you should see a picture of our artifact. So you're actually, in your book, you're going to get to write your observations. So remember how we said, what do you notice or observe about this artifact? That was the question. So it's actually your turn now to be able to write in your book, what do you observe about the artifact? So on page 3, you should see this and you should see this question. What do you notice? Or observe about the artifact. And what I'd like you to do when you're done is take a picture of it and send it to me. Or you can add it on Seesaw, which is pretty exciting. You can put it on Seesaw and share it with all of us. So again, the question is, what did you observe about this artifact? All right, and I look forward to seeing your responses and us doing more with this next week. Good luck.